From chakra in Naruto, spiritual pressure in Bleach, cursed energy in Jujutsu Kaisen, devil fruits in Haki in One Piece, all the way to the Force in Star Wars, now we have Impulse in Apple Black. What if I told you the power system in Apple Black isn't just some other power or magic system? I aim to create something unique, complex, and mind-bending for my shonen manga. We're gonna have a power system that's more than just flashy fights, and today I'm breaking down the crazy system of Impulse, the walls of Impulse, and the mind-blowing potential of a sorcerer's Nirvana. Apple Black will fall under hard magic, similar to a Full Metal Alchemist, Naruto, Bleach, where the mechanics of the system is understood and they can come into the narrative in complex and fun ways. Soft magic does this too, but the mechanics are often very simple and a little bit more vague, not always explained. You see this a lot in stuff that's more like a Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones with the Lord of Light, a little bit with Harry Potter, not as much but a little bit, where we don't really take a deep dive into how the powers work. I wonder what you guys would consider Avatar: The Last Airbender. Would that be soft or hard magic? I'm leaning towards soft. I also never really use the word magic in my manga. It's almost like a branding thing. I refer to it as sorcery. We've seen pirates, ninjas, hunters, assassins, samurais, Vikings, alchemists, plumbers, even cowboys with the manga I work on my live streams, which I will get back to at some point. But today, we've got sorcerers and sorceresses. I know, Jujutsu Kaisen also does sorcerers. But the first Apple Black Volume 1 came out in 2014 and I'm not about to switch things. But if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to like and Holy Ghost smash the subscribe button. You can also get the manga volumes or enjoy the vertical scroll versions free on Webtoon. I do keep in mind that the story is what matters most. A lot of times people get too overwhelmed with making a power system. It can cause issues with plot holes or storytelling issues where the system isn't revealed properly. I used to struggle with this and I still push to improve my overall narrative skills, especially in the earlier years of my writing, but now I think I have a pretty good handle on things. There are certain power system based reveals, especially in the later volumes, that I'm very proud of. Show and not tell. We learned that Zanpakutos have names and can transform just by Renji doing it in front of us for the first time. Having readers and watchers of the anime become witnesses in real time, helping them realize and understand that the cooking is taking place versus somebody just saying it. We kind of see it through action. If you've been wondering how the power system in Apple Black works, how sorcerers like Sano are leveling up, we're about to break it all down. So let's start with the basics. Impulse. In Apple Black, Impulse is the source of a sorcerer's power. Oh, tongue twister. Regardless of what sorcery you have, ice, fire, smoke, you name it, it's derived from their bloodline and their connection to the black within themselves. Where all of this comes from and how the sorcery is passed down through generations, ancestry, and all of that, I kind of talk a little bit more about that in the first video, just explaining Apple Black. So make sure you guys watch everything on the playlist. How in tune and synchronized you are with the black in your bloodline is key. The more impulse levels you possess, the stronger you are. A battle between sorcerers is more than just the sorcery itself and what type of sorcery is best suited to take on another. It's a battle of impulse levels. It's a battle of who is more in sync. Your sorcery may just be less effective against a sorcerer with much higher level impulse. Our MC, Sano's impulse, at times can be ungodly, or at the very least, it has the potential to be. In part because he's connected to a unique power that no one else possesses, and as his story progresses, he'll learn more about it, and trust me, it'll be a wild ride. Now let's talk about the walls of impulse. Yes, things start to get juicy here. Sorcerers level up by breaking through these walls. So we start to have our Super Saiyan power-ups, Shikai-ish, Bankai-ish, Rock Lee, breaking gates type stuff. But breaking these walls is an ability limited to a few sorcerers with mad XP and high impulse levels. Breaking a wall allows sorcerers cast spells they wouldn't be able to cast without. Sometimes breaking walls may come with some mutation or visual alterations to the sorcerer, because you gotta do that, have a little fun. Everybody likes a little change. If the character's hair grows, you just know you're about to get cooked. Or if they lose all their hair. I mean, is it really a power-up if they don't change in some way visually? Give the people something. But back to the wall. First, they break the wall of ivory, and then after that, they get to break ebony. Few people can break ivory, and even fewer will be able to break ebony. Each wall unlocks new powers and abilities, but there's a catch. If you break a wall, allowing you cast a wider variety of stronger spells, but you don't properly master the art of rebuilding that wall, you risk fatal consequences. Like 99% chance of dying once you're done. Pretty dark, huh? Breaking walls allow immense powers flow through you. And if the walls aren't rebuilt, it can overload your body until you pop like a balloon. That power flowing through you after you break the wall is what you can use to cast those higher level spells. But in the moment, maybe you win the battle, but if you don't know how to close it, then just pack it up because you're gonna get cooked. And then next up, let's get on Nirvana. This is where I kind of drew some inspiration from Buddhism a little bit. I remember coming up with this in history class, just learning about Buddha and Nirvana and all of that, and I just came up with this. But in Apple Black, Nirvana is a sorcerer's personal dimension. I can think of extremely few characters off the top of my head who have the ability to create Nirvana. A space they create by unlocking their full potential. It's like a god level power up. And if you master Nirvana, you can do almost anything within it. Now, the characters who can do it have certain things that are unique about it that help it stand out and are personal to that particular character. Usually themed and designed based on the sorcerer conjuring it. I realized after watching JJK and hearing all the Twitter spoilers, the domain expansion is kind of similar. But after watching it, even though it is similar, there are differences. But again, I did it first. I'm not about to change nothing. I have timestamps. Back to Apple Black. Sano's Nirvana is more insane because it's linked to a mysterious arm, the left arm of the god of sorcery, at least that's what it's said to be, Orodus. It's one of those where it's not really his Nirvana, but kinda is, or at least it's the arm's Nirvana. It's hard to explain, but I think the books actually break it down the best, so hopefully you guys enjoy the read. Orodus is like this AI that's more than just a piece of tech. She or they are a game-changing part of his power, and in some ways a part of his soul. In fact, with this Nirvana, Sano has very limited control, but you'll see. There are also other uses of Nirvana in the world, where we have computerized Nirvana used for all kinds of purposes like training simulations, similar to the Matrix, programmed with a set of rules, but these mimic the real thing, but are nowhere near as powerful as a sorcerer's Nirvana. Now, if you think this is where it ends, think again. Sorcerers also have gadgets. Sorcerers use wands to amplify and enhance the effects of their spells. Any object can become a wand once it's undergone the appropriate ritual. Wands are an optional choice of weapon. Not every sorcerer is a wand user. And examples of potential wands are guitars, lenses, sticks, brushes, ink, paper, bows and arrows, hourglasses, you name it. If Cyclops was a sorcerer, then his visor thing would be his wand, because he can blast you without it, but it helps him in certain ways. If you're in this world, again, get creative. Let me know what your wand would be. Just remember, it can't be a body part or a living thing. Eventually in the story, Sano does get like an ink brush called Salamander, an evolutionary wand capable of evolving and changing its shape for better usage, while still maintaining all of his teleportation abilities. Opal is another wand user, and it's a jewelry wand, but it's one of the legendary golden wands called Astro Jinx, and she uses it to easily copy the sorcery of others. And depending on how strong she gets, potentially she'd be able to store a finite amount of other people's sorcery and do some really cool stuff. Mikael battles with fumes from his cigarette wand, Teska. Another item that sorcerers use are, say, an orb, and that's an item that allows user absorb impulse from their surroundings. Think that Uryu moment against Mayuri in Bleach, but the orbs allow you absorb all that impulse and convert it to your own impulse, so you can use it when you run out, because you can run out. And you can keep using it until the orbs overheat and they have to cool down. Orbs are usually attached to some parts of the user's clothing. Sorcerers can cast spells with orbs for longer periods of time before the orb overheats. Certain cloaks, as in piece of clothing, may have abilities such as Invisibility cloaks or Infinity cloaks and then some. An Invisibility cloak helps hide a sorcerer's signature impulse and their visual presence. An Infinity cloak allows one store an infinite number of items in their pocket, so it's infinite pockets. It's kind of a surprise what characters actually wear some of these cloaks, because you don't know until it's revealed through their actions. You don't know until I show and not tell. Intelligent cloaks, kind of like the one in Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange, and maybe an cloak that's worn maybe as body armor and helps maintain your health. You still have other things like grimoires, which are essentially cookbooks for potions and all that kind of stuff. Like, you have a lot of the basic wizardry, witchcrafty things in my world, but I try to add my own little twist on it and reimagine them. So, if you're sitting there thinking, this sounds awesome, but how does this all come together? The truth is, it's kind of a story where every new twist kind of builds on the last, and as time goes on, I will keep building on what we have so far. Hopefully this is enough to get you amped to go read it on Webtoon or get the volumes available anywhere manga is sold. Support the Patreon. A lot of it goes back into production for the manga itself, as well as videos like this, while still getting some really cool rewards. Shout out to everyone who's already been supporting the award-winning series Apple Black. Let me know what your favorite part of the power system is so far. If this breakdown got you hyped, again, like the video, and Holy Ghost smash the subscribe button, hit the bell so you stay notified each time I upload absolutely anything. Turn on all notifications. Links to everything you could possibly need will be in the description. Watch more videos. This is White Manga, and I'm Audi 9000.